What's going on, folks? Hope you're having a good night or day. It's time to talk about some of the launch plans we'll have for New World, as well as cover the server list that was recently revealed. We've got quite a few to choose from this time around, but we'll also have a large amount of players joining in this time around, so it does make sense. They also do have the server tech to merge realms if they need to, so we should be fine after things die down. However, I believe when they tried that during the closed beta as a test, there might have been an issue with the territory transferring side of it, so if it happens to your realm, just be wary of that part for sure. So for North American East, we've got these servers here. I'm assuming Themyscira and Olympus will be one of the more popular PvP servers again. For players interested in roleplay, Orofina was chosen as the roleplayer server during the open beta, but this could end up different, so make sure you join the roleplay Discord just in case. I'll leave a link in the description below. Central Europe up next. I believe Asgard and Hades might get a lot of attention from PvP players again, but be sure to monitor the other platforms because you might see some of the public dynamically shift before the release. And for the roleplay server during the open beta, it was Runeberg. We then have Australia and South America, which I must admit I'm not 100% sure about any of these servers in terms of PvP, but South America does have Atlantis, so that might end up being one of them since that was one of the more popular ones during the closed beta. And last but not least, we have our very own North American West. Pretty decent chunk of servers, and I do like that we have Camelot on our side, love that name, but I'm sure you all know that there's only one choice for me. The players on this server have had so much history already, just from the closed beta and open beta alone. Very excited to be playing with the Marauder faction again, and I think there's going to be a hell of a lot of competition to expect this time around. During the open beta, we had guilds to fight like ARCADIA on Syndicate, one of my absolute favorites known as the Witchers on Covenant, and we had so many more new ones that I saw, including a guild that's going to be on the Marauder side known as the EMINENT Empire. Played with them and a couple others during the open beta, and I can highly recommend checking them out if you're in need of a guild on the green side. Me personally, as some of you know, I don't plan on starting a company or anything like that. There's multiple reasons for why I don't. Some are political based, makes things simpler when you don't have to worry about that. Also lets me focus on just enjoying the game and covering it as best I can. And I also get to showcase what the experience is like from a mostly solo player's perspective, so I like that too. But I'll still be playing very closely with the Marauder faction and supporting all the guilds in every way. But since I'll be playing without a company, it does mean that I'll have to work much harder to make ends meet. So in addition to that, and since we'll finally be getting launch, I'm going to attempt to live stream the first day for about 28 to 36 hours. Now that we're finally not having to worry about any more wipes, I think I'll be more motivated than ever to really go at it. I played and followed the game since before the very first alpha, so I'm absolutely just ready to tackle it at this point. For the past couple of weeks, I was able to get a big refresh as well, and made sure that I got enough outdoors to last me this entire launch. I went and saw 2 movies, Shang-Chi and Candyman, was able to take a trip to SeaWorld and got free tickets to a magic show, stuff like that, so we're completely good there. I'm ready to finally go all in. Streaming for that long without sleep might be a bit difficult for me, but I've been practicing with going longer and longer periods as these testing phases and time went on. I'm going to make sure we take regular breaks, and since I'll be on YouTube streaming, I'll have to chop the live stream into at least 2 or 3 parts, which means once we get to the 14 or 15 hour mark, I'll have to restart the stream to make sure it doesn't corrupt the VOD, and the VOD recordings on YouTube for live streaming always cut off at 12 hours, so anything that happens between that 12th and 5th hour won't make it in, but I'll try to update everybody briefly in the next one. And I do have a plan for leveling, but I'm going to keep that under wraps for now because some things might get nerfed. But one more thing is the guide content and what I'm expecting from this launch patch. So I'll probably be slowing down with the actual guides just to make sure I can take my time with it. I want to make sure I can get all the details possible, and more importantly to get the footage I need to showcase it. That way you can see what's going on. And I've stopped making as many guide videos lately, partly because of the reset I needed, but also because it's well known that Amazon is notorious for making really aggressive changes, like almost to an annoying degree, I'll admit. So this time I wanted to wait until we knew exactly how these systems would work, just to get a fresh perspective this time. But I also need to do this to pace myself, because I'm almost at about 4,000 total hours in this game, and it's been more than a decade since I've gone that far before, so I'm basically freeballing. But in conclusion, what am I expecting from this patch? Well, as I said during the open beta, for the first 2 days that I did play, and during the closed beta, I think it's going to be closer to the June patches. Mostly bug fixes, potentially a few feature additions, some balance tweaks of course, but nothing too major. I think there were rumors popping up about people assuming that they've been holding back a ton of content, and I don't think that's the case. It would be nice, but I'm not expecting Brimstone Sands, let alone the new weapons, to pop up for at least a month after launch. On Twitter around August 5th, they even posted that they were going to be working on bug fixes and stability, and that there wouldn't be any new content before launch. It wouldn't be the first time that things changed later on, but I'm not going to hold my breath just yet. What I think could happen though is that they might nerf the elite mob farming areas. These were really good for weapon experience and even regular experience in general, so just based off previous patches, this might be something that ends up in their crosshairs. Past that, they might take another shot at the town projects potentially just to get it in the right place, could see some more tweaks to the leveling experience overall. I would love to see a new leveling method entirely, but I doubt that'll happen for a little while. And build-wise, I'm sure we can expect that to be a big part of it. I'm sure many of you know that the Paladin builds were pretty crazy during the closed beta, and that there were some nerfs dished out during the open beta, but later on people were saying that they were testing out some of the changes and a few of them didn't seem to be in effect. I noticed this initially with a couple of them, such as the 250 Constitution nerf, but the update video I made should still stand if that really was the case. However, since the Paladin build could get another nerf, over the past week I was able to come up with a contingency build to use for launch just in case I have to. It's not one of the general ones like Hatchet Great Axe, it's more of a unique build that you don't normally see people running around with. I might have to use it anyway, just initially while leveling up, but we'll see what happens. Either way, thank you all very much for watching, hope you have a wonderful night or day, and I'll see you in there.